And here he comes. Last episode, spirits were a little low when you saw Hakeem Shorty head west back to Birdsville on the back of a tilt tray. Not long after, the rest of the vehicles continued on our journey east to Betoota. The hour of the day was getting on as we cautiously headed out. Here's something that some people may not be familiar with. There's an airplane sign right there. And that airplane sign is not for an airport that's either left or right of the road. That airplane sign is for, look in front of you. This is the runway. Runway 05. It's an emergency landing strip for airplanes out in the middle of the outback. We are probably about 50 or 60 kilometers east of Birdsville, running down the middle of the runway. There is the end of our runway. So that's pretty cool. That's a very ingenious use of bitumen out in the middle of nowhere.
It said 23 at this end.
I'm sure that means something to airplane people.
23 and 05, yeah.
A little bit of bull dust coming out the back.
Yeah, a bit of bull dust.
Archie called out dingoes just after the grid.
On the right.
On the right.
Well, they could have run over that rise.
Could have. We haven't hit a grid yet though.
It's hard to tell from far away.
It is. And the light's failing.
Our shadow up there.
Hello, hun.
Hello.
We are 64 kilometers from Betoota. We never, ever drive this late at night, but it was very exceptional circumstance today, obviously. We got Hakeem sorted out. Yeah, I got you, matey.
Yeah, mate, not sure if I can reach Archie. Just remind him that we're actually going to turn to the left off this road to go into Betoota.
Yeah, I'll let him know, mate.
Arch says there's water out in the distance here. Don't know if we can see it or not, or if the filming will pick it up. But it must look cool. I've never seen water out here before. Oh, there is water up there. Holy cow. Over to the left.
Look at it all, eh?
Wow. We have never seen water out here before like that.
Well, you'll never guess where we are. This is out the back of Betoota Hotel, and it's all cleaned up back here now. The only thing that stands out for me anyway is the old double-decker bus. There was a machinery shed too. There's a dead Prado that's been rolled. Don't know how long it's been sitting here, but it's the, what was it called? The Mighty Oz Prado Group. She's mighty crunchy. You in the back tire, look at that. You got a bent diff. White Ants on Tour. Wooden window frame. Perfect for white ants. It's a little enter, is it? There's the old grave site for Ziggy. Back of the workshop. Got an old Landy in there. Quad.
Even got a hoist.
Yeah, even a hoist. They have put some money into this. And there's the modern Jenny shed. There's the old double-decker bus. Talking to the manager last night, she said that second story on the double-decker bus used to be a brothel. Quite a weapon. Yeah, the old indicators. There's the back of the pub there. That's all new sheet iron from the last time we were here. We have definitely spent some money on this place, which is great to see. It's a week before the Big Red Bash, and they're expecting 400 to 500 people a night here. over the next few days. Sitting in the restaurant section of the Betoota pub. Just finished off some brekkie. Archie's gone up. He dipped out, but they've got some more food on.
Look at, here goes the boys.
There goes the boys for seconds. There it is. Barbecue in the back of the pub. Very cool.
This is the bunkhouse where Archie slept last night. Got many stretchers and mattress just at the side of the pub. It's pretty cool.
An old Model T Ford sitting out in the front of Betoota. We're heading home now, back on the road. This little area here, just off to our left, which could be your right or left on the video, I'm not sure, is the cricket pitch. And there's the Betoota Hotel right in front of us. Left turn to Windora, right turn to Birdsville. We got sunset happening over Quilpie, and those lights off in the distance are the Bowls Club. We're going to grab ourselves a feed, and we're going to ask a couple of key questions of all of our Jafffa crew. Come on over and join me.
Can she swing?
She'll nearly break it.
Yes, she can, because she's a spider. Woo-doo. I am a spider pig. And just for the record, this is before drink.
Having spent the past couple of months editing this footage and watching other YouTube travel videos, I've noticed a real contrast between Jafffa Adventures and a lot of other travel channels. At Jafffa Adventures, it's the camaraderie and the genuine care we have for each other that really stands out to me. I find with a large number of other travel-related channels, there's indifference to others they're traveling with, and even in some cases, passive aggression. It makes me grateful for the friends I have, and this final section in our Simo series will show you exactly what I'm talking about. Long live Jafffa Adventures. Want me to put my foot in the middle of your back, Matt? Well, we're sitting around the table at the moment at the Quilpie Bowls Club, and we've got a bit of a tradition. Kind of a tradition that's 2 trips old. I'm going to go around the table and I'm going to ask everybody 3 questions. What was your highlight? What was your low light? And one of 2 questions. Either what have you learned, or what would you recommend to somebody who's going to do the trip? So we'll go around the table clockwise, and Matthew has been kind to inform me that it's this direction, this way.
I survived. I was a little bit dubious, but I made it. Yep. A few aches and pains, but I made it. That was right.
And you did an awesome job too.
No, thank you. But once again, thanks to everyone else, the whole team. It's not just it's everyone. Thank you very much. The big off on day 2, that hurt like all hell, and I suffered for days after that. But made it. But that's all right. Just end of the day, tired, cocky, too quick, over a big sand dune, and the front wheel bed in, and as Matt said, lean back. But when you're tired, it just doesn't happen.
You ready to do the Madigan on the bike, Arch?
No way.
Unless they can replace my neck and my back.
Recommendation, Betoota Pub. If anyone's coming out here, Betoota Pub, that was gold. We've been past a few times, and it's always been closed, but we stopped in this time, and it was magic. Had a top night. Really good people. Had a good night. It was great.
Awesome.
Yeah, highlight of the desert would definitely have to be the sand dune driving and the hot springs. So I know it's not 1, but 2. Very hard to choose between the hot springs and the driving. You know, that end destination at Dalhousie Hot Springs was 100% really good. Yeah, awesome. First time as well doing something like that. So mate, I feel for Akeem when when we had a little bit of an issue on the side of the track out of Birdsville, but
Fair enough.
a recommendation would have to be make sure you've got enough fuel. Work out your fuel in low range, because when you get to Dalhousie, it's still a long way to go to Mount Dare until you can get fuel. So just to have enough fuel to cross the desert and maybe even come back.
My highlight would be driving the 200.
Yeah, baby!
Yeah, getting descended up some dunes. Jill was good, let me have a drive, because that was one thing I think I'd struggle with or wanted to do, was drive it myself. But there's always next time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and the hot springs was pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Low light would be Akeem again. I've had an issue myself on the trip, so I know the pain.
Yeah.
But I have been there, so at the end of the day, it could have been worse, but we're here now, so yeah.
Keep going, keep going.
Come on, Code. Come on, Code. Come on, Code. Come on, Code.
Just guys. Move over. Go, 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 go! Straighten up.
Recommendation: bring more beer. Yeah, don't make sure you got enough beer because again, it's expensive at Mount Air.
So a couple, like Jacob. First would be all like the soft sort of play tunes and Big Red, like driving through that soft stuff and really having to sort of get the old girls singing was really good.
Yeah.
And second highlight for me was playing Silly Buggers for a couple of days with the boys. That was awesome. You know, a few melons creeping around the camp. You know,
That was great.
that was a good laugh. Yeah.
Hakeem, he hit a couple of melons with some funny faces on him around my car. So once I finished having a shower, there's all these melons with these frowny faces on them. And then I thought I'd found them all, and I, relaxed and get myself a drink, opened the fridge, and there's another fucking melon.
Hakeem and Tennille are over there sorting their melons, perhaps?
No melons.
No melon.
Bloody fruit flies came out of the melons and infested the car.
Oh,
The shorty
Yeah.
let me down. It's a bit of a gut-wrenching, tear-jerker moment.
Yeah.
Hard stuff.
That is hard stuff.
It's all fixable.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that as soon as she comes home. And I'm sure I'll get over it, in time, and then Jake will give me shit and it'll be fine. Tennille and I were talking about different ways to pack the back of the shorty, so I think we've, between us and how we pack the shorty because it's so small, figured out a few different strategies of how to get more stuff in, and those guys were talking about taking extra beer in a long wheelbase. Imagine how much extra crap I got to take for a short wheelbase. Have something, first of all, to lower and raise your tyre pressures, and 2, have a UHF. Yeah, the amount of bull bars that you meet over the top of sand dunes just because people don't have two ways.
Watching the girls do it and little teamwork we had, a little bonding.
Go the girls. Go the girls.
You, the girls.
Go the girls.
And cheering everyone on. So all the dunes, seeing Jill and Kimmy do them, beat a Keem on one. But yeah, all the teamwork and then obviously we've had a couple of issues that everyone has helped out and supported us, which makes it nice.
That's wonderful.
Probably the car. I think that's topped it all. So unfortunately, yes, we're parked in with Archie to head home. Car's still at Birdsville, but that's all right. Shit happens.
But the positive is you did the whole trip.
And I sit in aircon now for the next 20 hours. And sheepskin. But wait, there's one. That was the shit part. We got so far and we had done so much, but shit happens. I learned that if you stay in the hot springs for too long, maybe don't drink water, who knows what, you faint. So hydrate, eat, and don't hang in there for too long. You won't faint. Maybe. I can't promise that. But yeah, do that and you won't faint.
Nice one. Good call, mate. Good call.
The sunrises and the sunsets, they were absolutely stunning every night, every morning. And then there's a little bit of dune raper in me. So that was fun. At first, absolutely petrified. I had no idea what I was doing and didn't have confidence in my ability and didn't know the truck at all. But by the end, very comfortable and confident. So.
Yeah, baby, look in the park.
Holy shit. I did it.
Coming,
These guys, the truck, of just seeing how crushed Hakeem was. That was sad. Yeah, but you know what? It was a low light for 15 minutes and action plans were in place. Things were coming together and was all sorted. Yep, dropping a little bit of money in the small towns along the way, out and back from our trips. If you can afford it, it's a real treat to stay in a motel or something on the way out and the way back and go out for dinner if you can afford it and that kind of thing. I just always feel good to do that.
Highlight would be, obviously, I love camping with all you guys, the Jaffas and everything, but including these guys into it is the highlight for me. It just makes different dynamic to the group. Last trip, they sort of come in and out you know, throughout the trip, but this time they were with us the whole time, and I don't know, it just puts a different dynamic into the trip and makes it, yeah, a little bit more fun. Not getting up big red.
Oh, that's okay.
I nearly got there though.
You
I tried
did.
Twice, got pretty much to the top.
Mate, you were like half a car length.
I know. So that would be my low light. But probably learnt something. I know Matt had confidence in me the whole time that I could do this, but I know I lack confidence in myself in a lot of things. Now I'm getting emotional.
How are you feeling?
Nervous. Yeah, I know that if I put everything into something, I can do it. And I know that's something that I have to work on, that I lack confidence, but
You did awesome.
I did it, and I did a great job.
I know what I was nervous about. This was absolutely so much fun.
Being able to cross the desert on our bikes with my two best mates. So that to me, you know.
Well done, my friend. Matty, awesome, mate, awesome. Woohoo!
We're not getting any younger, and for us at our age, and not throwing you under the bus, Arch, at your age, to be able to do what you did, mate, if I can do what you did at your age, I'll be doing well.
Yeah.
So another highlight for me was watching the girls. Exactly what Kim and Jill said, out of their comfort zone. We had confidence in them. They just had to build the confidence in themselves to be able to do it, and for me, that's pretty proud. When Arch had a stack, I felt for him, and I'm thinking, mate, he's hurting, but he's a tough bugger. Yep. He manned up. Yep. He didn't, kept it to himself. And obviously with the Keem, breaking down, we've all been there. We know you're gutted. And in that situation, because your emotions take over, you need people around you to make some sound decisions for you, because emotions take over logical sound decisions. So that's, as a group, that's what we did. Probably at our age, maybe a little bit more fitness training wouldn't have gone as far. Probably too many of these in training. Especially riding a bike, like we did 1,300 kilometres on a dirt bike. 1,300 kilometres on the pegs. The big thing there is managing your fatigue. Fatigue, when you're a bike rider and you get fatigued, bad habits come in, and bad habits create bad riding, bad strategy, and that's when you make mistakes.
Yeah, bad outcome, potential bad outcomes.
Don't try and be a hero. Don't be afraid to say to the boys, I'm running out of puff, boys, I need a break. And we manage that well.
My highlights were a combination of what Kim and what Jill said. First of all, the introduction of the scooters into the Jaffa group created a completely different dynamic.
Melons.
Melons?
Even big melons.
Where were they?
In my sleeping bag.
How did they get there?
I didn't put this.
There were just situations where we just had tears rolling down our face with some of the stuff that they were doing. Hiding melons with one another and, carrying on.
Shenanigans.
Just introduces a different dynamic, different thought processes, and it just is
harmless fun.
Harmless fun. And the other highlight for me was the pride that I had in the girls. They were shitting themselves when they stepped into the desert off a Big Red, and they came out of it, qualified.
Same.
Yeah, exactly. They just did an amazing job, and it just made me so proud. So when Arch come off, I felt really, really bad for him. As you said, Arch gets through on sheer grit and determination, and I respect that so much in you, Arch. It's just unbelievable. So that was, although he come off and that was a low light, we all knew that he wasn't going to be beaten by something like that. Arch is a little bit sore from his stack yesterday, but he's got some drugs on board. But more importantly, he's a determined so he'll get it done. The other low light for me was day 3 for my ride. I was whipped. At the end of day 3, I was like, holy shit, if I have another day like that, I don't know whether I can finish this thing. But, as I think you said on the day, Matt, you got to get over that sort of day 3 hump. Yeah, you're in a rhythm, and then day 4, back onto it. And it's like, oh, hey, I know how to ride again. I learned that you can fit 32 frozen camel pies in a Waco 85-liter fridge.
And there's a heart attack in every one.
And I'm going to be right there. That's a little bit lighthearted, but you guys have covered off some amazing learnings and recommendations, so I can't top that.
I've never experienced a man that talks to his motorbike.
I love my motorbike.
Some days he's in love with it, and other days he absolutely hates it. And obviously I can't repeat some of the things that have been said.
But it doesn't always do as it's told.
It misbehaves on the man.
Yeah.
He gave it an attitude adjustment, called it many names.
Sometimes it gave me an attitude adjustment too.
And we are proud of you three boys.
Yeah,
You
holy cow.
did an equally amazing job riding through the desert. Like that would have
Very
been
much.
hard work on the bike. So we are all absolutely.
It was everybody.
I was struggling when I was doing my recommendations. Get Telstra.
Why is that, Jacob?
Because I'm with Vodafone, and I don't think I had signal past Toowoomba. Emergency calls only. I still don't have anything in Quilpie.
From all of us Jaffas to all of you, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Cheers.
Bye now.